And if I could, I'll just stick with the British women while we're on this topic right now, the women's 8, because Kelly Hodgkinson was in a somewhat similar situation coming into this race. Now, she ran more than Muir indoors, and she put out that one incredible performance early on or midway in the indoor season, but then had to scratch world indoors. So you could have had some questions about her going into this weekend, wondering, hey, is she a full go? But runs 158 and wins it going away. Ran this race how you'd expect her to run if you think she's basically better than everybody in the world except for a Thing Mo. I mean, the way she controlled this race is how a Thing Mo controls her races. Patient, and then you put your foot on the gas and then just pulls away from everyone. I thought Gould would be able to give her a good run because Gould's been racing more, a little bit sharper. But Hodgkinson is just a clear number 2 right now. I don't know how close she is to a Thing Mo at number 1. We're not going to figure that out until they race each other. But I'm still keeping Mo solidly in at number 1. I mean, she looked really good at Penn. She just hasn't really, ran the 50 point out in Puerto Rico, but she's an outlier. Put her aside. Kelly Hodgkinson can run great and not beat a Thing Mo. That's a fact that we saw last year. But this was a good sign for her. And maybe that gap is shrunk a little bit. We don't know. Again, we're not sure, but the 158 against that field, dominant performance, that's a good run for her. I think she's going to be getting back into 155s by the time we come around to the championship. I mean, it's fun to think what that women's 800 is going to look like in Eugene, like that final. How fast could that be? Because we saw how good it was last year at the Olympics, and those women were 18 and 19 last year, or 19 and 19. So if they're even a little bit better this year, you're talking about something crazy quick. So Lamont was second, 159.5. Gould slipped back to third, 2 flat, 0.13. Sage Herda of the U.S. in fourth, 200.48. Trying to figure out the U.S. team behind a Thing Mo is a tough task. Like if you pull up the U.S. women's 800 list right now, it is very difficult to sort out. You obviously know that a Thing Mo is there. And then you feel good about Raven Rogers. AJ Wilson with all the experience, the world indoor gold. But look at that. Look at that. That top 6, 8. I mean, we had a high schooler, Juliet Whitaker, yesterday in New York, 159.80. That's the number 2 high school performance U.S. in history. Only behind Mary Kane. So she's someone to watch. You have collegians that I'm sure are going to get in to the mix as well too, and then just a lot of people in the 158, 159 range. Obviously, you think, okay, who can break free from that? A Thing Mo is the top of the list. Raven Rogers top of the list. AJ Wilson top of the list. But that one's going to be tight even to make final. Making the final is going to be very hard for the U.S. women in the 800.